YouTube, what's good with y'all? It's your boy Prosper Beats. This is how I make catchy drums. I'm gonna lay down 8 tips for y'all. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you like what you see in this video. Link to that will be in the description below. Also make sure to hit that Discord link in the description below. I would love to have y'all on that server. Without further ado, let's get right in it. So first and foremost, let me start off by saying simplicity and space is key whenever you're making these beats. So I pulled up one of these beats. I think it's a perfect example of all the things that I'm gonna share with you guys today, but as like a guiding little North Star for you guys. From my personal experience, simplicity and space is key when you're making these beats, R&B beats in particular. An artist needs to be able to catch a flow on it if you're planning to sell these beats to artists, you know. It's one thing to just like put all these doodads in your beats for like a beat battle or something like that. But if you want an artist to rap over them and buy them to rap over them for releases, it's a different story. You want an artist to be able to catch a flow on it and have their vocal fit in it. My second tip for y'all is that I do not like to use more than 5 sounds whenever I'm making a beat. Personally, in my past, I used to actually always use 6 sounds in my beats. I used to always rep like a kick, like a hi-hat, kick, hi-hat, rim, snare, open hat, perk, and an 808. I used to always do each one of those in every single one of my beats. I found like one day I just heard all my beats looking back on it and they all just sounded super crowded, like really crowded. As a general rule for mine, and it helps my beats be more simple, is to like not use more than 5 sounds. Really, on average, I use 4. I truly just use like a kick, hi-hat, rimmer, snare, and 808 at this point. And yeah, it works out amazing to not have my beats sound as crowded. Third tip that I got for you guys is to start with your drums first when you're creating a beat. So this kind of helps, let's turn this sample off. It kind of helps you catch like a bounce, secure bounce before laying down any type of melody. If you do create your own melodies or if you're plugging in samples, still, it just helps. I always use samples first and create melodies first. So to start with the drums first, I guess it just channels a different type of creative wave in your brain. I don't know how to explain it, but you just see the beat differently. And so henceforth, you're gonna be typing in things that you don't usually type in. So let's hear how this bounce sounds before the melody. As you can hear, there's a lot of space in that joint. I actually didn't create this with the melody like off. I did like piggyback off of a melody, but still, it's amazing whenever I do that. Really like channel stuff that you just wouldn't usually type in if you had a sample to work off of when you just create your drums first. So yeah, there's another way to spice your drums up. And the 4th tip that I got for y'all is to remake your favorite beats, favorite songs, beats. You know, remake their drum patterns. This is super effective for like learning how these top producers make their beats and just learning from the best. It's super effective. I used to always do it. Don't do it enough, but it's a great tip. It's great because let's say I just get like a Travis Scott or a Drake type beat and type these kicks in, and then I'll just type these hi-hats in, these snares in, and then I'll just know like I get a visual representation of how they did it, and just clicking it in myself and having this visual representation of like how it went down and the process to do all of it. It just really helps you really understand how they did it instead of just trying to listen to it and then like trying to do your own thing off of what you heard, you know. Also, another cool thing about that, if you do that and you get all their drum patterns from like those top songs you're talking about, you can just alter the MIDI a little bit. You can, like, I don't know, place a snare somewhere else and then call that MIDI your own. So boom, you kind of like piggyback off of that MIDI that already works and then make it your own if you like manipulate it a bit, but it already sounds kind of cool because it's from a professional track. So yeah, you can't really lose doing that. It's awesome. You get to learn what the pros do, make your own MIDI off of something that already works. So yeah, it's awesome. So my 5th tip that I got for y'all is a big one, and it's to experiment with your workflow. Now this is super big, man. I just recently switched it up, but I used to always start with chopping up a melody, then laying down the kick pattern. And then I would go to like my hi-hats, then I would go to my rims, go to my 808s, then go to my open hats and my perks. Like I told you guys, I would always do 6 sounds. But yeah, I just recently started switching to doing my hi-hats first. It's amazing. So I think the theory behind it is just same thing about like laying down your drum patterns first instead of a melody. It just channels like the different type of like route you can take the beat in your brain. Didn't explain that nearly as good as I should have, but like your brain just like, I don't know, triggers something different in your brain. You hear different things. So yeah, I got this sample, man, and I just started with these hi-hats right here. So let's see. This is what I got going on with this beat right here. See what I mean, man? it's OP as hell, you know. That's I thought that was fire, but yeah, with my hi-hats first instead of doing my kick first, because let's listen to the kick, how the kick came out instead of doing the kick first. What I see, and I did this for like a lot of my beats recently, what I've seen is that my kick will kind of just fill in the space that my hi-hats and my sample already kind of took up. And that's what I want, because my kick is a pretty prominent sound in all of my beats. I mean, in the R&B genre, you can make the argument that that's going to be the case in a lot of these R&B beats that you hear. And with that being said, if it's, again, simpler, like how I said, simplicity is key, it's just going to help the artist's vocal stand out even better. If it's simple, which I kind of already sounded better being simple since my hi-hats were already taking up a lot of like the main bounce in the beat. So yeah, helps with that as well. So my sixth tip that I got for y'all is a funny one, but it's just to have fun when making beats. From my personal experience, it's pretty easy to just get in like a mundane flow of like what you think will work, or what you think you should do in a beat. And you make this beat like this, and make another one like this, make another one like this. It's pretty easy just to get kind of bored too, and kind of get like out of a flow, kind of not find it as fun as you have once before, you know. So yeah, if you find making beats ain't as fun as once before, experimenting like we just covered with like different starts of a beat, you know, starting a beat differently, like different sounds even, or different patterns to start with, that helps a lot, you know, kind of getting more of a creative flow. If you aren't feeling inspired, again, you can always copy like a popular song's drum patterns like we just covered, you know. It makes it a little more fun since you already get like a little head start, and that's like a proven good head start. Point being, don't stress about not having good drums, you know. When in doubt, make your drums simpler if you have doubts about your drums, you know. Simplicity is king. Simplicity is key. Seventh tip that I got for y'all is to not force any sounds. Now, like I said, I used to always put a perk sound in every one of my beats, man. Like, every one of my beats. And so one day I just looked back at them and I was like, man, all my beats sound crowded as hell. You know, look at all these sounds going on. It sounds cool, but really crowded. You know, like there's no way that an artist could catch a vocal on any of these joints. That's what I thought to myself. I just decided to take all my perks out of my project templates. Just personal choice. Not saying perks are not good, but yeah, don't try and force any sounds. If you dropping midis in your beat and you got like this midi, maybe like a hi-hat roll right here, double kick right here, and you just think that it's a little too much, definitely take that joint out, because it probably is too much. If you're a producer and you know beats this good, it's too much to you, it's probably gonna be too much to an artist who's just like trying to catch a vibe, you know? Don't try and force any sounds. That goes for like the amount of sounds that you have in a beat, that goes for the midi that you lay down. Don't try and force any sounds. I call that producer maturity, you know? And my eighth and my last tip that I got for y'all is to take things away when you feel like the beat is finished. Now this is such a helpful tip when making my beats simpler and just have a lot more space in them. I got this tip from Hit Boy as well. He told a story about like how he made a beat for Drake and thought it was finished and it was simple to him, and Drake just took out damn near all the layers. Basically, man, whenever I finish these beats, I always think to myself, like, if an artist's vocal can fit on it, and usually most of the time, like I'll try and like hum a flow myself, like if I'm rapping on it. Most of the time, there's gonna be something in there. Usually that'd be a midi or a sound. That's just too much that it's not too much, so you can rap over it, but it kind of takes the shine away from a potential artist vocal. So when I do that and listen to the beat over again, I usually always take something out, either that be a sound or a midi. Because the space, those pockets of space really matter when you take an artist vocal into account. And again, it's super easy not to take these artist vocals into account. So like this open hat right here, damn near take that out, and it's gonna sound like a little more space is in the beat. And maybe that sounds better, you know? Let's just do it. Now let's listen with a hi-hat. In all honesty, I kind of prefer it without the hi-hat, you know what I'm saying? It's like all that space, and artists can just like keep on going and going and going. And if there's just a little sound or a little midi right here that they aren't expecting, which kind of sounds off, I might throw the artist off. So yeah, again, simplicity and space is key. So when you take things out, when you feel like the beat is finished, it'll just help you with this simplicity and space little theory, you know? So there y'all have it. Those are my 8 tips on how I make catchy drums. Hopefully you guys learned something from this video. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button in that description below. Make sure to hit that Discord link in the description below as well. Again, I would love to have you guys in that server, and I will see y'all in the next video. Deuces.